Romina's a f***ing boss. I just want everyone to know that. But at the same time, I feel like she's approachable and she's understanding.
There was a time when racial tensions were extremely high here in the States. I remember Romina pulling me into her office and asked me questions. There are a lot of things in the workplace that I feel like a lot of people would rather avoid because that's the easier thing to do. I've always admired the fact that professionally Romina has been willing to tackle them head on. That sort of mutual respect, I mean, that's key, that's golden.
Well, diversity is important for e-news because we cover pop culture. Our audience is diverse, so our content needs to be diverse, and that means that really to create content that speaks to diverse audiences, we have to hire diverse content creators.
The trickle-down effect, you can just feel it in the hallways here. Romina cultivates the environment that you should be heard and you will be heard.
I didn't grow up in this country, obviously. I grew up in Germany, and in Germany, I was the one who was different because of my name and because of how I look. There is a lot more diversity in this country than in Europe. For young people of color, find other people who look like you, who come from similar backgrounds like you in the workplace, right? But also don't be afraid to ask people who are not of color for advice. I think you'd be surprised with how many champions you find if you just ask. The media landscape that we're in, for any content creator, it's a very scary time, but it's also a very exciting time. You have more platforms than ever to communicate with your audiences. In terms of diversity, I think that it allows you to reach people in a much more direct way. I think it also forces you to be more authentic, and that authenticity can only be garnered if you have people who are producing the content authentically.
I feel like my individuality is not only important to me, but it's important to her. And that feels really great.
I would imagine that, and I hope that she takes pride in being an advocate for diversity and inclusiveness, because you can tell that it's something she's very intentional about, and that's something that is appreciated.
Romina is a boss. Don't let her quiet nature fool you. She's a boss. I feel her coming behind me from a mile away.